button using if statement in JavaScript. Before we created two buttons, and with those buttons we manipulated, we changed the body text style, changing its background color and font. So if we click knife button, we change the body text style with the black background and white font. If we click the day button, we change the body text style with the sky blue background color and black font. Same with the morning and evening. So now we're gonna create a toggle button here between day and night, so we don't have to move side by side to click different buttons. So we can just click one button, night and day, like that. All right, so let's begin. So let's practice a if statement. So if statement looks like that. This is where the comparison result come. If a comparison result is true, the code here will be executed. So let's put document. Right. So let's say I love you. So if the comparison result is true, this line will be executed. Let's have a look. So this is a toggle file. So let's open the toggle file. So here we go. I love you. But if it's false, else, and it's false, we call it else. When it's false, it's result is false, like that. So because it's still true, it'll be I love you. But if we change the comparison result into false, then again, result is false, comparison result is false, like that. So this is a practice for if statement. So comparison statement looks like this. So a string word is called string equals day. So because this is true, this triple equal means the data type and data type here, and then the value and value here is equal. So because this is true, this will print I love you, this line. I love you. But if it's like say XX, it's not the data value is not the same. So this will print the result is false. The result is false, right? So this is a document. This is a if statement. So let's practice this equal symbol. So there's a variable a equals say I love you. Right? So we're gonna, when we clearly A and I love you is not same, right? I love you is a string. In programming, this means you're gonna put I love you value, string value, into the A variable storage, and we're gonna save it in here. So if we print out A variable, like storage, we dump the A. So let's dump the A, and let's dump the A. Let's see what we get. We get I love you, right? If we get like B, we didn't create the, this is creating by defining variable A. We didn't create the V variable, so there will be nothing. No, wait, there is nothing. But this means a variable equals string I love you, which is false. This is used to compare left side and right side in programming language. So let's create a button. Enough for practice. Before create a button, and then we put a JavaScript. When we click the button, we create a JavaScript. We wrote the JavaScript that's gonna change the body tag style, like body tag into this. All right, that's what we did. So now let's get rid of all these. Let's create a button. Input type is a button, and input value is A. I use capital just to differentiate. And on click JavaScript has to come. So let's look at the button, what it looks like. Yeah, we got the day button here. Now it doesn't do anything. It's just the button the HTML created. So we're gonna make the button to change the body tag. So we're gonna put JavaScript here to change the body tag. How do we change the body tag? Remember? We selected a body tag. It's the method on the document. So we put document means this document on this document. Select the body tag. How do we select the body tag? Query selector. How come it's not printing out like automatically? Document query selector. Why is it not automatic? Document query selector. I'm gonna use camel case. Oh my god, to type all of this, it's not automatic now. Document query selector, and then we're gonna select the body tag, and we're gonna style it. And then how are we gonna style it? I'm gonna change the background. Background color. Well, that's camel case, so it has to be small B here and then big C on the second word. background color. Background color is like a variable where you put the value in it. We put what do you call it? It's the value. So we put the light. Let's put light yellow. Does that? Oh, just go with the light blue. All right, that's what we did. Have a look. Let's see if that button is working. Oh, it's not working. Document, query selector. I must make some syntax mistake because I always do that. And style, background color equals light blue. Oh well. Maybe let's put blue because that's capital. Always the capital thing is the problem. Oh yeah, it worked. So maybe this light blue. So like that, it worked, right? I wonder if it's a capital is the problem. I just didn't click the button. Oh, silly me. What? That's typo. So I create a button that changes the background. So we're gonna create we're gonna make that button to change the font color, which it was just a color, and then small cap here. And then we're gonna change font color into maybe purple. So let's see. So got the purple font and then light blue background. All right, but before we copy and paste this and create another button and make it into night, didn't we? Yeah, and then we change the value into background color value into navy, and then we change the font to into maybe with the light gray. Right? This is what we did last time. So let's see. We click night, we get navy, and then we get light gray a font. But what we want to do, we don't want to like go click between two buttons. We just want one button to toggle between the two style. How do we do that? We're gonna use input. So we're gonna use if statement, right? So we're gonna wrap this code into a if statement and give a condition. So when we click the button that has day value, we're gonna execute this line, right? So make sure we gotta compare the value is a day value. All right, so if statement looks like that. That's where the comparison result comes. And we want it to be true, right? And then we're gonna execute this button, right? And then we're gonna execute this button. So that's what it looks like. All right, I like to put it that way. So if it's true, we're gonna execute this button. So if the value is day, the input attribute, value attribute is day. If day, right? If they, we're gonna execute this line. But how can we compare? So we're gonna compare it by getting the by getting the this button's value and from using JavaScript. How do we gonna get that? Let's try. Okay. Don't think too hard. Just how the JavaScript works. So we're gonna practice in a console window. So we do document. On this document, we're gonna query select input tag, right? So we're gonna query select input tag and then get the value of this input tag. All right, so there's two input tag, but we're gonna get the first input tag's value. What would that be? We're getting a day value, right? Because we get the first one input tag. All right, because this first input tag value is day. So maybe we get rid of that. And then let's see, we get the input tag button, night, input tag attribute, value attribute, result, night. So if we do the same thing, we should get night. Oh, they don't refresh it, sorry. Get night, right? We got night. So this is how you get the value of the input tag value result. Yeah, so we can compare it. Something we found somewhere to compare. So we want to compare here. Okay, how do we compare? If day equals, when I get this line like that, document select correct input tag its value, it's gonna do this. Oh, light blue, purple. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we got the light blue and purple. The problem is there's two input tag, and sometimes it's very confusing. It's always the top one that's going to show the result of the value. So we don't want to avoid that. So we put input attribute called ID. And here we're gonna put day button. So we can distinguish with the day button name. This is the name of this input tag. All right, so let's practice that. Because we just put the ID in there. Instead of we put input, we put ID. So it's a specific input tag we're looking for. The ID was day button, right? Oh, wasn't a day button. Oh, yeah, when you put ID, you always have to push up that to make sure it's the ID of the input tag. Day button. Did I spell it right? I gotta refresh it. Oh, stupid me. Always forget to do things. So let's see if we get day. Yeah, we got day because it's a day button, which is a day input. And the input tag attribute, value attribute result is day. All right, so that was the day button was the name of this input tag. So let's put a nighttime ID. Oh, we don't need a two button. We're just gonna use one button, right? So if that is true, if day is the value of this input text attribute value result, we're gonna execute it this, because if it's true, we're gonna do this. Else, if it's not true, we just want to create a truth and false, so we can toggle between the truth and false. We're gonna change the when it's false, when it's other way around, I'm gonna put nighttime. Oh, I want to go to toilet and I can't. Nighttime value. So let's try. And I'll get rid of this button. Or should we leave the nighttime button? It'll be confusing. So get rid of that. So if it's false, we're gonna do this, which is navy and light gray. So let's refresh it. Now there's only one button. So if it's day, we're gonna get day. Well, how are we gonna make it false? We're gonna change the value. We're gonna make it false by changing here to night. Or we're gonna leave it day here. We're gonna change the value here into night. Right? We're gonna change the value this result into a night. How do we do that? Here we're gonna change the input tag value into night, right? To make it false. Now we got, I don't like typing that much. Now we're gonna change the, what are we gonna change? The input tag. Which input tag? This input tag value, right? And this input tag had an ID. What was the ID? The ID was a day button. Day button, right? Into value. Into value equals night. So we're gonna put night button into this value attribute. So that when document, after clicking it, when document selector, if you click one more time, this will go through here, but then the value will be changed into night. So this becomes false, right? Because day equals night is a false. So we're gonna execute this one when it's false. So let's see if it worked. All right, night. So when we click this one, the value is already night in an input tag from clicking day button. So when I click this button, the comparison will be false. So, and then nighttime style will be executed. Hopefully you understood. So here we made a toggle button using if statement. Thank you for watching, and hope it was helpful. Thank you.